Quick hits, three things that I've seen in the news recently that I think we can comment on our last show for 2025. Big Canadian banks split on 2026 rate path. Now, this is the rate path for the Bank of Canada. Gold smashes past 4,400. Silver hits record highs as the rally moves on, as the rally continues to go higher, as interest rates look to be cut in the United States. A tariff exemption was Canada's salvation in 2025. It's absolutely at risk in 2026. And I think we can add there, it's absolutely necessary in 2026 as well. So let's go to our first quick hit. Canadian banks split on 2026 rate path. Will the Bank of Canada cut aggressively? Will they cut it all in 2026? Let's go to our first chart, and you can see some of the bank commentaries. Current Bank of Canada policy rate, 2.25%. What does the Bank of Montreal say? It's going to cut to 2% or even 1.75 in 2026. Scotiabank and National Bank actually have a hike to 2.75%. CIBC, RBC, and TD Bank are on hold. And I hope Scotiabank and National Bank are not correct. I think to see a rate hike, you're going to have to see this economy really start to take off and move higher. And I think that's going to have to be on the back of a new trade agreement, which we're going to have to see come the spring of this year. Our next quick hit that I wanted to talk about, and that is gold, and it is smashing through all-time records. And why does gold continue to move higher? Well, two reasons, mainly the anticipation of lower interest rates and higher debt levels in the US and all around the world. You have all these countries taking on more and more debt, borrowing more and more money, weakening their currencies. When you weaken your currency, that only strengthens gold, and especially the US dollar. As we know, gold is a hedge against the US dollar. Our chart for this quick hit is a chart of gold, which is now all-time highs. It just went through $4,500 an ounce. Would or could that have been predicted? Probably not. If we had a chart of silver, you would see that pretty much moving higher almost in the same way as gold. In fact, silver has actually doubled in the past year, whereas gold is probably up about 70%. Both metals doing extremely well, both precious metals doing extremely well. Our third and final quick hit is one with respect to tariff exemptions and what's going to happen in this upcoming year. And I think tariffs, USMCA or CUSMA, CUSMA, will take center stage at the start of this year. Will Canada come to a trade agreement with the United States? I believe coming to an agreement with Mexico should be quite easy or easier. I think Canada and Mexico already have some agreements in place. The question now becomes, what will the U.S. want from Canada to get a deal done? They've already talked to us about dairy. They've talked to us about banking. They've talked to us about other areas that Canada currently protects with either no entry or higher tariffs. And the U.S. is wanting to bring those tariff walls down, or else they will increase tariffs on us. Our first chart and only chart for this segment talks about which countries rank the lowest with respect to tariffs. And what many people don't realize is Canada is the lowest because of USMCA, CUSMA, as we call it here in Canada. Most of our exports to the US are not tariffed. About 80% or even a little bit higher, 85% of what we ship to the US is not tariffed, or there is no tax applied to it, no duties applied. So many countries have negotiated agreements, trade agreements this past year. As we all know, Canada has yet to do so, but we already have trade agreements in place. And I think that's why our Prime Minister has not, come to an agreement as yet and has not negotiated one, because I think in his head, we already have one, and that one is pretty strong and doing quite well. I think the negotiations will have to take place and already are taking place for this upcoming year. And I guess time will tell how that all works out. So with respect to trade, let's all we'll all be keeping our ears and eyes peeled for the latest that comes out. And I guess we'll have to see how things shake out in 2026.